Hannah, nice to meet you.
Good to meet with you.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Nice to meet you. Glad to be up here in Rexburg. It's cold. It's getting warmer though. That's great.
It's getting warmer, for sure.
Are you from here originally, or?
No, I'm not. I'm actually from Arkansas.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
So you moved
Big
across?
move.
Yeah, massive move. Wow.
Yeah.
How do you like the difference?
I definitely prefer the South, but I try to compensate. Like, it's southern Idaho.
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to compensate with myself, but I definitely miss the humidity.
So you're originally from the South then?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
born and raised.
Very cool. Are you a big football fan then? I
Oh,
know
yes.
Arkansas.
Well,
Cornhuskers, right? Or what are they?
no, we're the Hogs.
The Hogs.
But I'm not actually an Arkansas fan. I'm a Bama fan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was raised holler and roll tide, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So then how did you, I'm guessing with Monkey Bar Stores, the opportunity just, how did that all work out, getting you up here?
Yeah, so I actually went to college up here in Idaho.
Okay.
And just with graduation, I was looking for some jobs, and Monkey Bar came up, and it seemed like a pretty good fit. I really liked the people
Wow.
there, so.
Good for you.
Decided to work for a smaller company instead of the big man at Walmart.
Yeah. So then did you just work your way up, or currently what do they have you doing at Monkey
Yeah,
Bar?
so actually, I am, good question. I am the vice president of sales for
Wow.
Monkey Bar, so really I just worked my way up. I was trained, actually I took a lot of classes in college in terms of like sales and those kinds of things, and
Good for you.
that was really appealing for them, and so I started off as just a junior salesman going around,
Yeah.
and worked my way up.
That's awesome. Very cool, very impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
And how long have you been VP of Sales?
So I've been VP of sales for about 5 years now.
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And with the company in general, how long?
With the company in general, probably 10.
Okay, so Monkey Storage has been around here in this location. I imagine you guys have more.
Yeah, we're all throughout Idaho.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
very cool. And dang, well that's awesome. So
Yeah.
you have some sway in the decision making. You have some
Mhm.
authority, a lot of
Yeah.
authority probably.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Well, how do you like it? How do you feel like things are going for the business?
I really enjoy it. I think the business is going really, really well, and we're actually at a point where we would like to expand, or outside of Idaho. So we're expansive pretty within Idaho, but it's gotten to a point where we're ready to start expanding more nationally. So it's a pretty exciting time.
Okay, so at this point, I researched a little bit because you sent me the link,
Mm-hmm.
and I researched you guys a little bit, and I was really impressed. I've said this before, but honestly, like when I look at my own garage and I watch the videos of how it organizes, you organize garages, it's pretty phenomenal.
Thank you.
It's a unique, I bet it is unique. Maybe you now have more competitors, but do you guys feel like you are above most of your competitors, or where do you kind of sit amongst the others in the industry?
Yeah, I think we don't have very many competitors, and since we're so specialized in what we do, that's really what gives us the competitive edge, because you could go to a lot of different places to get cabinetry. I mean, you could even go to
True.
Home Depot or Lowe's to get your cabinetry, but people come to us because it's specialized specifically for garage. And
So you guys are
garages-
100% garage organizers.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So
Industry,
kind of
okay.
like garage, barn, shed, that kind of stuff. A lot more utility
Yeah.
out of, like, not that you don't need a lot of utility out of your kitchen, but
Yeah.
you use them for very different things.
A little
and
more of a
so-
man's workshop, or just an
Mhm.
organizer in general. I mean, I love the bike hooks. I love how you can even customize them, move them
Yeah.
around, different design shapes. Pretty cool niche that you guys have found.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that specializing. I mean, I think that's awesome. Are you guys only online right now then?
Like, you mean?
As far as like sales go, because I mean, I saw your guys'
Okay.
websites. Do you actually have stores and locations as well, or is it all online?
Yeah, we
if
do
I
have.
wanted my garage to look like yours.
Yeah. We do have a couple like display rooms that people can come to and take a look at the cabinetry.
Oh, really?
Um,
Like at a store then?
Yeah, but for the most part, a lot of our customers come to us because they've seen their friend's garage,
Yeah.
or like their buddy's workshop, or
My
whatever.
buddy's garage looks like that. I would come to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So they just recommend them and they come straight to us. So
Cool.
generally, we don't have. It's not a big problem for us. People trust what we do and know
Mhm.
that if we're so specialized, we have good quality products that are going to last them.
Very cool. Okay, so tell me about sales a little bit. You mentioned word of mouth, obviously. I mean, locally in Idaho, you probably got a lot of people that spread the word of mouth. I know you're online because I've seen your website.
Yeah.
What else do you guys do to make people aware of this, and how are sales going in that regard, I guess?
Yeah. So we do some social media stuff, not a ton, but our main thing is just through our sales force. So we've got a pretty expansive sales team that works really closely with our customers. So it's kind of like getting recommendations from them and then contacting those recommendations. So we do a lot just mainly through our sales force.
Cool. That's awesome. How many sales reps do you have at this point?
Yeah, so we probably have closer to 200 sales reps.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And as far as like customers, I mean, I know that if I got this, I mean, I would be pretty satisfied. But as far as the whole process goes, what's your customer satisfaction and reviews kind of like?
Yeah. So our customer satisfaction is actually really high because of the way that we keep in contact with them, and we really form a great friendship with all of our customers.
Cool.
Since we're going into, I mean, I guess I wouldn't necessarily call a garage an intimate area, but for the people that we're working with, we're working with them because it's a place that they want to be and that they hang out a lot, you know? So it's a place that's more meaningful to them. So we try really hard to grow a good friendship with them throughout the sales process, and once they push the button and it's a go, we work with them really, really closely all throughout the design process so that we ensure that the design is how they want it to be. We work with them with like customization things, colors.
So you guys personally help them install it then?
Yeah, and we go in and we help them install everything, and then we also do lots of checkups after the fact. So we check and be like, hey man, like, it's been a month since you've, gotten this installed. How's it going? Are you liking it? Has anything broke? Do we need to come in and fix anything for you? That kind of stuff. So we maintain a really close relationship with the people that we work with.
Yeah, for sure. So is the salesman the same installer, or does the sales rep kind of organize and get the deal going, and then you actually have a specific technician that goes in and installs, or?
So it's kind of a proximity thing. So we assign salespeople to a certain area, and then they have 2 to 3 technicians that are also assigned to that area.
Right. So I imagine they have them come in after they've kind of made the deal.
Yeah, we do the same salesperson and the same tech for a customer. So we assign 2 people to a customer so that we can evenly disperse these things throughout our salespeople and our technicians, so they get the right amount of hours. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But then it also helps grow that great relationship. So you're not just getting Joe Blow, I don't know who's coming, but a tech is coming and they're gonna fix it. You know that like, hey, I've got Marty coming over and he's gonna help fix my cabinet.
That local personalized customer service probably sends you guys a long way. It probably goes a long ways. Well, that's cool. I definitely know that I would be a buyer for sure. But so tell me a little bit more about kind of your vision. I mean, are you satisfied kind of where things are at, or what's your satisfaction personally with the direction of the company in general? Where do you see opportunities for growth, improvement?
Yeah, so really I see an opportunity for growth nationwide, especially in states like Idaho or southern states like Arkansas, where people have
everybody has garages.
Yeah, I mean, there's more urban areas that probably wouldn't be the best for us to target, but I can definitely see us expanding into more suburban areas, just nationwide. So it's an exciting time being at the edge of that, knowing that we've pretty much expanded. I don't want to say as much as we can because there's always room for growth, but
you've filled your sphere at least here in Idaho.
Yeah, we've done what we want to do here in Idaho, and we're ready to start overfilling and start expanding into different states.
Good. So tell me, what's keeping you then as a company, from your standpoint, from achieving that, from taking that, blasting that roof and continuing to grow and spread?
So some of the things that I've been doing a lot of research in lately are better back-end problems for organizing all of our sales, organizing all of the information of the customer, all the notes that the technicians and the salesmen put in.
Okay.
I'm looking at a lot of different programs. Yours is one of them. So I'm just trying to figure out, you know, is the program that I have right now, can it be okay to grow with, or is there one that's better that will help me manage this growth a lot more?
Okay. So would you say that your current state, is it a concern of yours, managing and organizing all the back end part of your business?
It's not a humongous concern. It's not something I'm like sweating about right now.
Okay.
It's something that I'd like to take a preventative measure on. We haven't started expanding yet, but it's one that I know the expansion's on the horizon. I know when that date is going to be, when we're going to start moving on this.
Right.
And I want to start getting some preventative measures so that I don't
absolutely
really have a problem on my hands.
So I want to know a little bit more then. Would you say there are any other areas of concern, or is it mainly that format, that program of being able to just organize and have access and just a good idea of the notes, like you said, organizing your sales force and so that they know what to do. Is there any other areas of concern that you feel like maybe could be potential obstacles from keeping you guys from achieving what you see?
In terms of my sphere, no. Like, all I'm concerned about right now is getting the right program for my back end.
Okay. So what do you guys feel like, do you feel like you'll be able to accomplish the growth and expansion that you hope to with your current program?
I think we could, but it is a newer program and it doesn't have as many features and capabilities as other companies like yours have. So I guess that's just kind of why I'm reaching out to some of you guys, trying to figure out like if it's worth the investment for me.
Absolutely. No, yeah, and I'm glad that you reached out to us. I'm glad that we're here. You mentioned some of those key features. What are some of the ones that jumped out to you the most?
One thing for me is usability. So I don't want my technicians or even my salesmen going in and messing up a lot of the data that's put in there. I want them to be able to easily track and see where a sale is at, both on the salesman side, but also on my side. I'd like to see like, hey, we have different stages, I guess, where we kind of categorize where the sales process is at. If it's still at the beginning, haven't contacted, still at the beginning. If you're getting down into the nitty gritty in terms of pricing and doing a layout, that kind of stuff. So throughout each of the processes, I want to see where each of the sales is at so that I know like, hey, like maybe we need to slow down on the growth a little bit because all of our stuff is on firsthand, or like, man, we gotta keep generating new leads because all of our stuff is at the very end. We're finishing a lot of installments and we don't have any new leads, you know.
Interesting.
So I'd like, on my end, I'd like to be able to see that big picture, and I want my salesmen to see, based off of what they're assigned to, what is kind of left for them.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you talk about that lead generation being so important, that communication, all the way from the very, nitty gritty of the technician setting it up with them in their home, and all of the information in between you and that technician, right?
Yeah.
And even your bosses. I don't know who's ahead of or who's above you. I mean, obviously, we have franchise owners, partners. So I can see that. I imagine that would be important for you to kind of clean up that space of communication. What do you think some of the implications would be not having that clear communication? What do you think that would do to your customer satisfaction, for example?
So the clear communication between me and the salesperson, or?
Yeah, all of the above. So, I mean, we have all the way from you, your sales force to technicians, technicians to customers, and all the information in between of being organized. I imagine that would cause a headache for you because you're probably juggling a lot of different areas, a lot of moving parts. So I could see that being definitely a concern. I don't know, what would you say about that?
I guess the main problem would be the customer satisfaction because we are so customer focused. It would be really damaging if that communication line wasn't correct, or if for some reason the program didn't load right, or if it wasn't organized correctly and the information was just all over the place. It can be easy to mistake where you're at along that line. And we definitely don't want that to happen because we want the customers to feel remembered, to feel like we're really involved with them, we know them, we're friends. So it can really damage those relationships and possibly determine or deteriorate future sales.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because obviously the growth means acquiring new customers, and your name needs to be known, like you've said, what you've established in Idaho being the best and being, reliable for those things. So I definitely see that an important area. What impact do you think it would have on your sales force in general, and kind of their ability to do their jobs well, and continue to want to stay with the company and continue to help it grow? What impact do you see it finding a solution, or maybe if you couldn't solve or improve this area, what do you see happening to your sales force?
I could see them starting to get kind of frustrated with the disorganization and that kind of stuff, and feeling like they're not getting the communication that they need, and the information that they really need to be able to do their job correctly. And
And how would that look on your end, reporting your numbers, your quotes to your guys in your sphere, right? Because you're in a whole different sphere. How would that look on your end?
Well, I mean, I guess that's why I'm meeting with you now.
Right.
So I can be proactive and take care of this, so that my bosses will be like, oh, well, you knew this growth was coming. Like, you didn't think, like, I don't want to feel like an idiot, like, oh, you didn't think to do that. I know they wouldn't say that to me, and I know that wouldn't necessarily be what they thought of. I'm sure they haven't thought about needing to upgrade the problem at all.
Yeah. So
it wouldn't look good on me, but I wouldn't say it's not at that intense.
Yeah. Okay, so I see it basically as a wave of growth that you see, and you want to be ready to catch that wave. And if you don't, things probably aren't going to look pretty on your end. Maybe you're going to start deteriorating with what you have underneath you, your sales force and technicians and customer satisfaction. Basically, all that you've built up. Could you say, would it be fair to say that is at risk if this area isn't solidified?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Well, great. I honestly, I think that this is a great opportunity. I think that it will definitely be the right fit. So, kind of shifting gears, what do you feel like would be your vision of being able to do if your lead generation is your organization of their information and the communication overall, if that was completely solidified like we talked about, what are you going to be able to do with that?
So for me, it will alleviate a lot of time potentially playing I Spy, trying to figure out what my big picture is.
Okay.
So it'll make my job a lot easier. It'll make communicating with the salespeople a lot easier because I can see exactly where they're at, what pages they're on, so I know who needs help, how I can help them.
Yeah. Well, great. I think that that's definitely motivating for sure. So would you consider it important to implement this as soon as possible then, basically to find the right solution or right fit for this area?
So for me, finding the right solution, I don't want to rush this process, but finding the right solution soon-ish, would definitely alleviate a lot more future stress, because the longer this goes on, the more I can't find a better solution, then the more stress I'll get.
Yeah. Do you feel like customer satisfaction and sales are going to be able to be accelerated moving forward from when we can if we do make a great deal? Do you feel like that will be able to move things forward in those regards?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. If the organizations there are here on the back end and we can just figure out, exactly where everybody's at, we can help maintain that personable friendship that we build with all of our customers on a larger scale.
Absolutely. Well, so we've mentioned that back in point of concern, area of focus, I guess. And honestly, Hannah, I think that we can really do that for you. I think that not smart home automation, but Salesforce rep, I truly believe that we'll be able to solidify and really take care of that area so that you're not having to worry about it as much, so that you feel a little bit more free to be doing more in your sphere and not feeling like you're watching and worrying about so many moving parts. I think that that's one major thing that we'll be able to do for you is alleviate, like you said, what's on your shoulders, enable you to do your job better, and this program will allow the people underneath you to lift you, to not just feel like an anchor in a way. I think that it'll also benefit them and help you to, like you said, maintain that culture and that reputation of really having personalized experiences that benefit and motivate customers to spread the word and continue to drive those sales. I think there's so many things that can create that chain reaction, all starting with this conversation. So I think that there are major benefits that could come away from this. I mean, does it make you excited to think about the growth? I mean, obviously you've mentioned growth and expansion to me so many times already in this conversation, and I just, how, do you see there being any limit once that roof and the walls of Idaho, those borders being broken? Do you see limits to this business, or do you just see the growth without, I just see the potential being massive for sure.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a large potential for us to grow and expand nationwide.
For sure, I definitely see it. So, is there any area that you would like more information on, or that wasn't clarified to you?
Not right now, actually. I think I have all the information I need.
Awesome. Well, then, moving forward, I would suggest that we meet again, and I'd love to schedule right now with you another point, maybe next week, to be able to bring your CFO or somebody along with you, and we could actually go over some of the specific things on the program and look at it personally together. Mm-hmm. How does that sound to you?
So next week I'm actually meeting with another company.
Okay.
A couple other companies actually throughout the week during all my available meeting times.
Sure.
Maybe we could schedule a meeting for the week afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. I obviously want to be able to help you achieve your goals, and I see this being a great partnership. So I have, actually somebody that's going to be here flying in, partner of mine, this Friday. I don't know if this Friday would work for you in the afternoon to be able to meet and go over a few other things with you and your CFO.
Yeah, actually this Friday should work pretty well.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Awesome.
If there's no other questions, then I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, awesome. Sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to look on the you can stop it.